Ed. This is the Iron and Dust podcast, and this is the first episode. Thank you for tuning in. And I'm making this up as I go, which is awesome. But I'm here with my friend Eduard Sandulyak, and let's see how this turns out. Eddie, can I call you Eddie? Is that cool?
Yeah, you can call me Eddie. We're buds.
All right, I'll call you Eddie. I'm going to try to stick to Eduard, but if Eddie slips out, don't hold it against me. I'll start off this episode here just with a quick bio of who you are, and then we'll jump right into it with some fun questions. So first thing we got Eduard Sandulyak, the owner of Skyline Electric LLC. It's a trusted electrical contractor serving the Bay Area with top-notch residential and commercial services, from panel upgrades and EV charger installations to lighting and full wiring projects. I think that sounds about right. With over 10 years in the trades as a journeyman electrician, Eduard brings hands-on expertise, clear communication, and the kind of reliability that earns you rave reviews from homeowners and businesses alike. I kind of spent some time on your website and kind of looked at some of your stuff. You got
that sounds like it.
You got a ton of reviews, and they're all 5-star, and that was crazy and super hard to come by, but that is awesome. I mean, it's kind of a cool thing to be able to read that from you, man. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah. So, I'm pretty proud of my reviews, and thanks for having me on the podcast. I'm of course honored to be the first guest.
Awesome, man.
Yeah, those reviews. I mean, reviews are like gold when you're a business owner. And
yeah, seriously.
It's hard to get them because, people are busy, but when you do get them, it's a job well done. So it's nice to get those.
Absolutely. Now, how long have you been in business? How long has Skyline Electric been in business?
Only since 2023. June of 2023 is when we opened, and it kind of took it slow for a little bit, and then fully transitioned about a year and a half ago to full-time Skyline Electric, because I was kind of juggling 2 jobs trying to get this thing off the ground. And then started to pay off, so made the full jump about a year and a half ago.
Wow, that's awesome, man. That's really cool. Well, what we'll do first is we'll just kind of jump right into this. We'll start off with just an origin story. I kind of want to know, kind of the whole point of this story. And actually, before I do that, I want to preface this. Eduard and I have been friends for a long time. We went to high school together. We've done crazy stuff throughout the years, and he's a good friend of mine. And it's just been really awesome to watch you build your business, build your career over all these years. And it's just kind of a proud moment for me to have you on this show. Really honored to have you on here. And I'm really excited for other people to hear your journey, your story, and just be encouraged by that. Because I think there's a lot of guys out there that were in your footsteps and have gone through, similar training and do the same stuff that you do. But maybe they're wondering about what is it like to start your own business. Maybe they're struggled with a lot of things that you may have struggled with in your trade, and maybe you can give them some insight on that. So, just want to start out though with the origin story. Just kind of tell us how you started. Like, what were you like as a kid? Where did you grow up? What did you do? What were you into?
Oh man, where do I start with that? Well, all right. I guess we'll start from the beginning. I mean, my family immigrated here from Moldova back in 1990. And so, for the same reason everybody else comes to America, for a better life. And so growing up, I always saw my dad just work extra hard to provide for the family. He didn't speak any English at first, and he was out there just always hustling, making money, and providing for the family, and still having some type of energy to be at home, to actually be a dad at home. So that was kind of my what I saw growing up the whole time, was just this great work ethic from my dad, and also the ability to still be a great parent. And then as a kid, I was always into taking stuff apart. Never really could put it back together quite right. I always had little extra pieces left over. But you would never catch me in a book or anything like that. I was always outside tinkering with stuff. Buy some speakers from what was that place from Kragen, and just like take them apart and try to like make them louder. I didn't know what I was doing. Um, so I always had this like hands-on kind of childhood of like always helping my dad with a car or helping around the house somehow, any kind of house projects he had. It was after high school, it was kind of this decision of like, what do I do with my life? Do I go to college? Do I do something else? And I knew that college was like not for me. I wasn't, I liked math in high school. I liked science in high school. Did not care for English, history, things where it's like you're just in the book all the time. So I went to a community college near me, to Chabot College, to try to get my AS degree in automotive technology. Because at that time, I was really into working on cars, and kind of did that whole program, got my degree, realized that working on cars was more of a hobby and not quite a career choice. So kind of backed out of that and ended up getting a job at Costco. And I was at Costco for like 10 years. I was there for a long time. And when I was there, my parents were like, yeah, Costco's a good job. And it was a good job. Like, it's actually a really good place to work. They take care of their employees. And I saw a future there. So I was primarily working in the tire shop, always something with my hands. You know, I didn't like working in any other department. So I stayed in the tire shop for most of those 10 years. And I had these hopes of becoming, you know, a tire shop manager, and then just moving up the ladder and just becoming a corporate Costco guy. And then that all changed when our friend Luis Gomez, he was a union electrician at the time, and he needed some help. He was doing some side jobs, you know, trying to make a little extra money for his family, and he needed some help. I didn't know anything about electrical at all. And he took me out to like Santa Rosa to this like fourplex that was getting rewired. Like, it was pretty big for somebody that didn't know what the heck to do with electrical. And so we rented a hotel room and just stayed out there for like 4 days, I think. I called in sick to Costco, so I was getting my sick time, plus I was getting paid on the side by Luis, so I was kind of double dipping. And that little trip that we made out there is what really got me interested in electrical. So our friend Luis just like kind of pushing me, or at least giving me that opportunity to come and help him, knowing that I didn't know anything about electrical. Within, you know, first day or two, I caught on pretty quick. I was asking questions. I did things the way that he wanted it to be done, and quickly was like wrapping my head around residential electrical. Very early, I was like wiring three-way switches for him, which people think is very complicated. And just things like that. I was just asking the right questions. So he sat me down on the side and was like, hey, I'm going to be real with you. You're wasting your life at Costco. You need to get into the trades. You're going to be a huge value for the trades. You need to get in. And I was like, okay, sounds good. Like, I'd much rather be doing this than slinging tires all day at Costco. So I went from that to, you know, applying for the union apprenticeship program. I took me like 2 years to get in. So you have to take like a math test, interview, all sorts of things. Finally got into the union apprenticeship program, and then just completed that program. 5 years, graduated top of my class. That was like my main goal when I got in.
Yeah.
Because I knew that there were people that were counting on me. I knew that there were people that like put their name on the line to get me into the program.
Yeah.
And I wanted to make everybody proud. So yeah, I just strived to be the best that I could be in the apprenticeship. Listened, you know, learned as much as I could. I got paired up with really good journeymen my whole career. So I got pretty lucky that way, because a lot of people going through the apprenticeship get paired up with some old timers who just like hate apprentices. They like talk shit about them, tell them to go sweep, say apprentices should be seen, not heard, things like that. And I always got paired up with great journeymen, journeywomen, anybody. And I think it was also like my desire to actually be there, my
Yeah.
ability to like ask the right questions, to be like interested, and like always asking people on their lunch and on their break. And in the union, I mean, lunches and breaks are like, don't fucking talk about work, dude.
Yeah.
This is our break time. I'm like, I don't care if it's your break time. I got a question.
Yeah.
Like, what does this do? Is this similar to this? What about this? And just always learning, dude. And like
Yeah.
supplemented that with like YouTube and like my own knowledge on the side if something wasn't making sense. Cause I
I feel like
really wanted to like know.
I feel like YouTube gets a bad rap, because we always make that joke at like, oh, let's just YouTube it, and it's like, but dude, I've like learned so much stuff on YouTube, even in my trade, and I'm sure it's handy. I mean, even when if I'm like fixing a car or if I'm doing something that's like, I don't know, something I don't know anything about, someone has made a video about whatever it is that you're doing. There's
Yeah,
a video about it on there, and sometimes it's
exactly.
way to supplement, what you're doing hands on already out in the field, pull up a quick video and say, okay, that's how you do it. Because a lot of times, I
Yeah,
don't know if you run across this in your apprenticeship, but sometimes you'll get paired up with like a journeyman and they don't quite know what they're doing. Like they
yeah,
don't necessarily know, like they might have their way of doing it because it's something they've done in the years past or whatever, but there's more efficient ways or there's more, I don't know. Does that sound like familiar to you at all?
yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, there are there are plenty of what we call installers,
Hmm.
which are people that just know how to install something, don't really know how it works, don't care about how it works. They just know if they connect this wire to this wire on the switch, then it's going to work. They don't care about anything else.
Yeah.
And those are installers. And those
Yeah.
are the people that, it's fine. We need installers. We need people to actually install this stuff. But the people that are interested and the ones that like want to know why the ins and outs and the whys about everything, those are the people that I feel like are going to excel the trade and are actually going to, um, yeah, excel it to the future.
Yeah. So talk a little bit about, because you talked about your apprenticeship a little bit. Like, what have you seen over the years? The importance of going through an apprenticeship, because I'm sure there's guys in your trade, and that there's a lot in mine that they just jump in as a journeyman. Maybe they've run, like in mine, for instance, we run tractors. So maybe they run tractors, with their grandpa or whatever. They kind of grew up around it, and then they get journeyed in, but they're don't necessarily go through an apprenticeship program. As Was there a benefit for you to go through an apprenticeship program? Do you think that like benefited you, or was it kind of a waste of time? What do you think?
Yeah, no, I'm pro apprenticeship programs for sure.
Hmm.
Like I think the combination of the like school learning that you get at night and the hands-on that you get during the day at your actual job that you get placed at, those two together at the same time really makes a difference.
Yeah.
And whether or not you're going through a union apprenticeship or a non-union apprenticeship, that doesn't really matter. If
Hmm.
you're somebody that is interested in electrical and like or any kind of trade and you're like passionate about that specific trade, then you're gonna succeed or excel in it regardless if you're going the non-union or the union route.
Yeah.
Because I've met plenty of great non-union electricians that came from the non-union, like that's all they know,
Hmm.
and they're great. So I'm pro apprenticeship for sure. There's only like a handful of people that I've met or worked for or worked with when I was in the union that kind of got grandfathered in or like just took the journeyman exam and just got placed. Most of them came from the non-union side where they, either worked for a contractor for so many years, passed their test, and then got in. And some of that stuff, um, some of them, like you could tell that, like, okay, they obviously didn't get that education that the union offered or that the apprenticeship offered. But some of them were awesome.
Hmm.
So I think it really comes down to like the individual themselves. If
Yeah.
they're passionate about it, then they're going to be great at that trade. If
Hmm.
they're just wanting to squeeze by and collect their check and go home, like then that's what they're going to be.
Yeah.
So I've
Interesting.
kind of seen it all.
No, have you been able to like train apprentices, and like have you had that experience
Yeah.
where you work alongside and train that? Talk about that a little bit, because I've seen that too. I've seen that on my side where you do get a lot of the grumpy old guys that are kind of like the same attitude that you described. Like it's just like put your head down, don't say anything, and just do your job, or go sweep, or go, pick roots is for what we do, which
Yeah.
is like
Yeah.
that's like the bottom. But I've seen other guys who really like bring that apprentice up and kind of walk with them, let them answer or ask questions, answer those questions, take the time with patience. Talk about that. Like, what has your experience been about like working with other apprentices?
Yeah, so I've yeah, definitely worked with apprentices once I became a journeyman, even when I was like a late uh we call it bracket, so late bracket apprentice, which means like I'm about to turn out. I even had apprentices with me, and that was always a great opportunity. I mean, I love teaching no matter what. Like I love teaching apprentices stuff that I know, stuff that I've learned, mistakes that I've made, things like that. And especially um, there is a lack of teaching on the journeyman side of the trades. So not a lot of journeymen or journey level tradesmen or electricians in particular take the time to actually train their apprentices.
Mm.
So I've come across situations where it was like a uh, mid tier apprentice. So we call it like a fifth bracket because there's 10 brackets in the apprenticeship I went through.
Hmm.
Fifth bracket apprentice that should know stuff. They should already know about, 2.5 years worth of stuff.
Hmm.
But because they were a woman and they were African American, people did not like take the time to teach them.
Hmm.
So they were like always put them on like meaningless tasks and didn't even bother to teach them. So
Hmm.
when she came and worked with me, there was like a lot of information that she should have known that she didn't. So I took my time and I taught her as best as I could. I gave her questions and diagrams to take home saying, tomorrow you better have an answer for me for this. Look
Hmm.
it up. If you don't understand it, we'll walk through it tomorrow. So I always loved that aspect of like teaching
Hmm.
somebody. And even it goes back to like when I was in the tire shop at Costco. Like
Yeah.
there was always people, that come in, they don't know anything about tires. And I just like love teaching them about
Hmm.
this is what you do, this is what this means. Like if the tire's wearing this way, it means there's something bad with this. Like just teaching them everything I know.
Yeah.
And then even like when I um, turned out, when I became a journeyman, I taught at the apprenticeship for a
Mm.
little bit, just because I loved that whole teaching aspect. So I taught apprentices there, and then I ended up teaching like journeymen and apprentices that were trying to pass the state test. Just love to teach. And
Yeah.
now I have an apprentice of my own that works for me that
Wow.
I get to teach, and he's going through an apprenticeship program. Um, so just it's always great to teach the next generation.
Yeah.
Just teach anything I can.
Yeah. I've kind of noticed that with apprentices, when a lot of guys, I think the old mentality is this guy's trying to steal my job. I'm gonna, so I'm just gonna give him shit because he doesn't, I don't want him to get better than me. But
Yeah,
I've always seen it as, if I can help this person do what I need to get done and do it more efficiently or do it better, they're gonna just help me out. like
yeah,
in and not only just me, but like the job in totality. Like it's such a um rather than seeing them as as like a something to kind of fumble over or whatever, but it's more like, no, let's utilize you to the best of your ability so that we can accomplish this job and do it well and do it right, because really your reputation is on the line with any
yeah.
type of that you do, whether you're an apprentice or whether you're a journeyman. Because I know in my field, and I'm sure in yours, the community is pretty small. Even if you're in the Bay Area and there's a
Yep,
million companies around, word gets around pretty quickly how good you are at your job. And same in the dirt
it
business.
does.
It's really small. So having a good reputation, showing up on time, doing your work, and then progressing at that job
Yeah.
too. It really is important, important skill to learn as an apprentice, but also to be able to share those skills and talk to the apprentices about that and build them up so that they can be better and really help out the rest of the company and the work that we do.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. Yeah, the community is really small. I mean, there's a
mhm,
lot of electricians out there, but
yeah.
man, if you are not up to snuff or you suck, word is
Hmm.
gonna get around, and those are the guys that get 40 W-2s at the end of the year. And they're just going from job to job to job. And yeah, word gets around, dude. I've gotten plenty of phone calls like that where
Yeah.
they'll call me like, "Hey, have you ever worked for this guy or with this
Oh,
guy?" I'm like, "Yep, I have." Well, tell me about him.
yep.
Send him back to the hall before you get while you can, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Things like that.
I've seen that too. I've been around, I've gotten those phone calls. I've been around guys when they've gotten those phone calls from other companies, and it's like, yeah, yeah, good luck with that person. So,
Yeah.
that's funny. That's really funny. Well, let's transition into from going through the apprenticeship, journeying out, and now you're on this new season where you've started your own company. What did that look like for you? What was the motivation behind that, and how did you kind of take those next steps really to kind of move on to your own thing?
Man, it's tough because I don't really know if I know 100% why I made the
Yeah.
switch. But it was like my whole apprenticeship, the whole time I was like, I'm never gonna own my own business. That sounds like hella stressful. Sounds like I'm gonna be not sleeping, not eating. Like it sounds stressful. And both my brother-in-laws are general contractors.
Hmm.
And they were always saying, "Oh, when are you gonna start your own company? When are you gonna start your own company?" I'm like, nah, I'm pretty comfortable working for the man. Like I'm just gonna collect my paycheck and I'm good. I'm good where I'm at. And then I got stuck on this job. Most of my apprenticeship, I was working for small contractors.
Hmm.
And when you work for a small contractor, that's great. That means the jobs that I was on would last like top 6 months. If it lasted for more, most likely you'd get transferred to a different job until that
Hmm.
one picked up again. So it was always kind of like this new thing going on. And then I got placed with this really big contractor at this like huge project in Berkeley. And I was there for 2 years and I got stuck on the lighting crew because
Hmm.
lighting in a commercial building is intricate. Like you need to know what you're doing because there's a lot of controls involved and this and that. It's not just a regular residential light switch.
Yeah.
Um, so they asked me like day one, they're like, "Do you know lighting?" I was like, "Yeah, I know lighting." So I got stuck on the lighting crew. But the job was so big that I was just doing the same task every day. It was
Mm.
like there was two big buildings, like 4 floors each building, same light fixtures, same this, same that. I was just like, "When is this gonna end, dude?" And I was like, "You know what? I think I'm better than this. Like, I could probably do this on my own."
Mm.
Because what would happen is, I don't know if the same happens with your trade, but like the foreman would lay me out on something. They'd say, "Okay, we need you to run 200 feet of conduit from here to here, pull the wire. These are the light fixtures." I'm like, "Okay." And then like they think it's going to take me like 7 days to
Yeah.
complete. And then I'm back to them in 3 days saying, "What's next? I'm done."
Mm.
And they're like, "What?" "Okay, well, here's the next project. Here's the next project. Here's the
Yeah.
next project." I'm like, "Wait a minute. I'm doing like 3 times the amount of work as everybody else, and my
Hmm.
reward is more work."
Hmm.
And I'm like, "That's great. I mean, that's job security." I like was never um, threatened with like a layoff or something like that. I was confident that I always have work, but I was like, if I'm this efficient, I could be this efficient on my own
Hmm.
and do something different every day, meet new people, get this whole different aspect that I have no idea about. Like I know how to install lights, I know electrical, but I don't know how to run a business. So I made that switch. I was like, F it. I'm
Hmm.
gonna study for the test. I'm gonna get my contractor's license. And I kind of like did it all super fast. My wife
Hmm.
was like, "What are you doing? Like, do you even have a plan?" Do you have a, like, what's happening here? And I was like, I don't have a plan. It's just going to work out.
Yeah.
And it did. I mean, I got my contractor's license. And then as soon as I could, as soon as I was like licensed and insured, I started getting jobs, and I was kind of tackling both things at the same time until it just got too much.
Yeah.
So my main reason, I guess, for like making this switch is just I wanted something new.
Hmm.
I thought that I could be a business owner just because of kind of my persona, the way that I am around clients, around customers. Um, and I was always a people pleaser growing up. Like, never got into a fight. Always chose love over fighting, you
Yeah.
know? And so that people pleasing mentality when owning a business is like unheard of.
Yeah.
People don't want to do favors anymore. People don't want to do something for free anymore.
Mm.
People like, and I'm not saying I do my work for free,
Yeah.
but there are times where it's like, oh yeah, like I'm already here. It's like an older lady. I'm already at her house. She wants an extra little light put up. I'll put up a light for them. I don't hit them with the, nope, that's extra, this and that. So like, just this people pleasing mentality is
Mm.
paid off. Um, so that's kind of why I made the transition. Wanted something new.
Hmm.
Didn't want to get stuck doing the same thing every single day. Um, yeah, and I mean, it's been great. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't regret it at all. I think,
Yeah.
uh, besides, getting married, joining the apprenticeship, and then starting my career, some
Hmm.
of the best decisions I've made.
What
Um,
do you tell the guy that's like, that's maybe in that position of yours, like where he's excelling at work. Um, he is kind of getting bored maybe because he's doing well, but he's maybe has that thing in the back of his mind of like, I think I could do this too. Like, what do you tell that guy, that is maybe thinking about going that route?
don't do it. There's not enough work. No, yeah, I say why not, dude?
Hmm.
Like, if you're bored and you just want to try it out,
Hmm.
yes, it costs a little bit of money to like take the test and get insurance and things like that. But like, why not, dude? Why not at least take the test? At least like take it one step at a time. See if you could accomplish that.
Yeah.
Um, and it doesn't hurt to try. I think
Hmm.
there's always a fallback on
Hmm.
anything, especially in the electrical industry. Um, there's so many things that I could do besides just going back to working for the union.
Hmm.
There's so many inspectors that I've met, like from owning my own business, where if I felt like going and becoming an inspector, I'm sure I could make that route happen. It's
Hmm.
like the trade, the like the specific trade especially is like, I don't know, it's so diverse in like what avenue you want to take. So why not? I don't know.
Yeah.
That's my mentality.
Yeah.
Why not at least give it a try
Yeah.
and not be like, oh, I should have done that years ago.
Yeah.
Just
Totally.
just do it. Do
I
it
know
and
I've met
figure it out.
Yeah, I've met guys over the years where they're like, "Yeah, I'm thinking about doing it." And they've been in for like 25 years, and I'm like, "Dude, like, do it now, but don't like be at the end of your
Yeah.
career thinking you want to. Just get ahead of it now, and then because you don't want to get to the end of your career and then be like, man, I wish I had tried that, or I wish I'd been a
Yeah.
little bit more ambitious or whatever it was. Because I feel like the payoff, could potentially be so much greater, and you can enjoy your life and your job a little bit more going that
Yeah.
route.
Yeah.
That's interesting. What's something that's like kind of carried you through your career? Like, is there like a skill or a mindset or kind of a lesson that you've learned over the years that has really like this is your value as a worker or as a electrician? What's that like? What has kind of carried you through your career so far?
Oh man. I think definitely just the ability to always be learning.
Mm.
That is huge. There
Yeah.
are too many like stubborn people in the trade that think that they know everything, but all they know are lies, things that like are
Yeah.
not true, but they've just been taught the same thing for so many years.
Yeah.
And just the ability to have that open mind. Like I've never denied anybody the ability to like tell me I'm wrong or tell me like I don't think that's right, like the way you're doing that. I'm always open
Yeah.
for advice, for extra knowledge, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because the trade is so changing all the time. Every year there's like something new with lighting. There's something new with the way power is getting delivered. There's like all these new things you have to be able to adapt and be able to learn and be humble to be
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, actually I don't know everything,
Mm-hmm.
but I know the right people or I have the right resources to be able to figure this out. Because most of the time it's not like a huge change. They're not like, oh my god, we're going from using wire to now using like paper. It's like what the, like no, it's always like the
Yeah.
same thing. It just keeps evolving. So
Yeah.
I think that ability just to like always be ready to learn and
Yeah.
never think I've learned everything I can.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's just so much stuff to learn, dude, especially owning a business.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know
Yeah.
what the hell I was doing starting this business, dude, and I figured it out. I was like, "Is this legal? I don't know. Let me figure it out." Like, what am I supposed to do? Taxes? I'm supposed to pay taxes? What the hell?
Oh my God.
Like, you figure it out, dude.
What's been like the biggest challenge, I guess, owning your business? What's the hardest thing for you?
Man, the hardest thing is prioritizing family over
Mm,
business.
yeah.
That is hard for me because work always is there. There's
Yeah.
always something I could be doing. And in my mind, that something that I need to do for my business is what's going to excel my business or bring me more work or this and that. So I'm always on my phone, like always. Like
Yeah.
if a customer is texting me at 8 p.m., I'm responding to them.
Mm-hmm.
And so that I think has been a struggle. And it's mainly because I'm just a two-man shop right now. It's just me and my apprentice. So I'm doing everything. And I don't have fancy software that like texts my clients when I'm on my way. Like I do that personally. I send
Yeah.
them like everything is by me, no AI, no nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that has been probably the biggest struggle is like
Mm,
prioritizing correctly. And it's
yeah.
hard to do that. Like,
Yeah.
cause one side of me is like, but if I don't get this done, I'm not going to have work.
Yeah.
And then the other side of me is like, but I'm missing out on these opportunities with my family,
Mm-hmm.
but I won't have a family if I don't have work,
Yeah.
kind of thing. Like
Yeah.
it's tough. So,
Mm-hmm.
and my wife has been like, dude, you working a lot. Like
Yeah.
you're on your phone a lot, dude. I was like, yeah, next year, maybe I'll simmer down or at least create some type of schedule
Yeah.
and kind of be a little bit more present at home.
Yeah. I feel like that's kind of that mentality is um where family is being prioritized. I feel like that's really coming around more in the trades. I know that in the past it's been, pretty, you know, if there's daylight, we're working kind of thing.
Yeah,
But I've noticed that like with the company, even I've only been at my company for about little over 6 years now. And, since the beginning, I've seen it kind of change. And it's like, no, we are here for our families. And I've had some really great experiences with people that are high up that are like, hey, you got to take care of your family, dude. Like, if you need to go, you need to go. Like, it's not a
yeah,
big deal. You got a spot here for me.
yep,
And I feel like that wasn't the case, 10 years ago or even longer. I
yeah,
remember, crap for stuff when I had my first kid. and I needed to take some time off just to be with the wife and the baby and stuff. And it was like, what? You're an apprentice. Like, you can't take time off. It's like, what? I just had a baby.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's starting to change in the trades. And maybe that's, I mean, obviously that's for the better, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's definitely for the better. And when I was working for somebody, yeah, it was a lot easier for me to like make work second or third. You know,
Yeah.
I still did a good job at work, but at the end of the day, I'm working for somebody. So if my kid is sick, I'm not going to work because somebody needs to take care of my kid.
Yeah.
But as a business owner, that's different.
Yeah.
So learning how to make that change where you still have your business as second or third, that's where the learning comes in, or like that shift comes in.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's good. I kind of want to shift a little bit now because you've been doing this for some time now, over 10 years. I kind of want to move into some war stories. Do you have any good stories? Some good, the bad, the ugly, whatever, the unforgettable, the OSHA calls.
Oh,
I want to know some dirt. I want to know what's good out there. So what share maybe your favorite memory or the just craziest story that you've heard.
oh my God. Yeah. Well, you know, when I was working in the union or even on my own, I've never really experienced firsthand like horror stories. Oh, actually, no, I have. Oh my God, I just remembered. So it was at this job, the job that I ended up leaving to start my own company. You know, we were working, and then all of a sudden there's just like commotion, right? Supervisors are coming from anywhere, fire trucks are coming in, ambulances are coming in, this and that. We're like, what the hell is going on? And this job the whole time was like probably one of the unsafest jobs I was on.
Yeah.
Just like no like procedures, no like, and it was still like a union job, so it's still like safe, but it was not, but it was like, dude, this could be better, like, you know?
Yeah.
And so we were trying to figure out what the hell just happened because all these ambulances were here, and somebody was in the like parking garage. So they were, what were they doing? Oh, they were like taking off the forms. So I don't know if you've ever been around where they like pour a parking garage, but they pour it at like levels, and then you have to strip all this plywood down. And this guy had his like scissor lift like all the way up, stripping these forms. But he had a vacuum on the scissor lift connected to like an extension cord. And the extension cord he had like wrapped around the scissor lift arm and then plugged it into the vacuum so that it wouldn't keep pulling out of the vacuum. And people were always driving golf carts hella fast in that parking garage. And somebody came around the corner and like snagged that extension cord, and that fully extended scissor lift with the dude in it just fell to the ground, dude.
Oh
and
my God.
Dude had like broken bones, like he was messed up, dude. So they were like, fuck, dude, like, okay, everybody go home, because for sure OSHA's coming.
Yeah.
We're like, okay. So like everybody dipped, went home, and I was like, oh my God, dude, freaking falling from a scissor lift.
Dude.
Like, dude, like he got busted up, dude.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, OSHA came out, and it like was not the first time that they showed up to that site. And dude, that was nuts. That was probably the biggest like injury that, or like work catastrophe that I've actually like been present for.
Yeah.
But I've heard other ones, especially from our friend Luis. Oh my God, that guy had some stories. That was good.
I can imagine working with with electricity is kind of no joke too. I mean, if you're, you know, I mean, I've changed a few like outlets at my house, and I'm just like, okay, testing that. And I'm like double check, triple check the breaker just to make sure it's off. No, and I'm like, oh, my kid's gonna find me like just shriveled up on the floor, burning. You know,
I know, dude. I know.
So
Electricity is, yeah, dude. And definitely more lenient than I should be, especially now, because mostly what I'm doing is like service work,
Yeah.
which is like you sometimes you got to leave that stuff on,
Yeah.
and it's just faster if you leave it on. But in the commercial world, like, yeah, you gotta turn that up. You're dealing with higher voltages. And I heard from a teacher I had in the apprenticeship was telling us a story. Do you want me to share that? Or do we
Yeah.
got time?
Yeah. We got
So
time.
he was doing some lighting troubleshooting, and like lighting in a residential, it's 120 volts. Lighting in a commercial, it's 277 volts.
Mm.
So it could really grab you and like hold on to you.
Yeah.
And he was like, at the end of this project, there was this high rise, and they were at their last stage, so they were troubleshooting all the stuff that's wrong. Um, and come to find out, there was like the same exact issue that was wrong in every single bathroom on every floor.
Mm.
So like whoever was in charge of making that up just made the same mistake on all
Mm.
the floors. So he started off on like the first floor, locked it, like turned off the breaker, put his lock on there, did the work, fixed it, turned it back on. Second floor, like all the way up, he would do it safely. And
Mm-hmm.
of course, it was a Friday. Of course, it was the end of the day. And he's like, man, I just did like 17 floors of the same thing. Like, I know what I'm doing. I'm just going to like do it while it's live still,
Mm.
you know? And so he's in a commercial like bathroom. There's usually a hard lid ceiling. There's usually like a sheetrock ceiling with a metal access door
Mm-hmm.
where all the like the junction boxes are, things like that. So he was up there in this like 277-volt box, and he made contact with the wire, and his like arm or his shoulder was contacting the metal of the like access hatch, and he was getting shocked and held up.
Oh.
And he said that for a split second, his body, he left his body and was at the like entryway to the bathroom, looking at himself, being like shocked. And then when he woke up, he was on the floor. And I was
Whoa.
like, he had like a whole out of body
Like
experience looking
any.
at himself. And then people come rushing in. They're like, "Oh, we like, are you okay?" He's like, "Oh yeah, like I think so." They're like, "We heard like screaming." And he's
Oh.
like, "Oh shit." Like, no, I'm like, "I'm good. I'm good." And he was
Dang.
like, "If that don't make you believe, then nothing will, dude."
Dang.
I was like, "Oh my God." This just
Wow.
seems like a crazy experience to be like shocked so bad like that.
Yeah. That is insane, man. Those
Yeah.
I can't imagine having that kind of experience. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, kind of bring this thing in. I just want to touch a couple things on the way out. Uh, kind of want to hit, the industry today. Is there any part that kind of frustrates you the most? Is there anything that's really great or has improved kind of over the years? And maybe some technology, and maybe you can kind of hit on that. And then let's go into just after that, just some wisdom and advice that you want to pass on. Maybe if you could tell the Edward 10 years ago, some advice, what would that be? But kind of start off here with the industry. What do you kind of see as like that's maybe frustrating you? Maybe something that's been really great that's happened over the years.
Let's see. So something that's really great in the industry, I think, is the electrification of like everything. So
Mhm.
everybody's switching over from gas to electric everything. Um, yeah, I think that's good. For one, it's going to, give a lot of work for electricians out there, and
Mhm.
also kind of at the same time getting rid of the natural gas issue that is going on. Um, so I think just like the ever changing like industry itself as a whole is like
Mhm.
amazing how there's like always something new coming out, always
Yeah.
something to make something more efficient. And it's like that for a lot of other trades too, like for
Mhm.
plumbers as well. Like this whole like heat pump style, like water heaters and things like that, like they're way more efficient. And like just people are always creating new things for us to like figure out and to install or wire up or troubleshoot.
Yeah.
um so I think, I mean, the trades are not going anywhere, that's
Yeah.
for sure. Like I mean, I'm sure people say this all the time, but like, no way is AI taking over like
Yeah,
the hands-on aspect.
totally.
Um, and what it's lacking is like contractors like in general
Hmm.
treating clients like humans
Mm,
is what's lacking.
yeah.
This idea of like they need me, like the contractor is saying that like no, this client needs me,
Hmm.
so I'll do the job how I want it done, and I'll show up when I want to show up because they need me. That is what is going to get those people out of work
Yeah.
soon. Because that's been like the biggest thing that I've experienced, especially as owning a business, is that the communication level between contractors and their clients,
Hmm.
and just like the common courtesy of like showing up when you say you're going to show up, giving
Yeah.
them like a reminder, letting them know if you're going to be a couple minutes late, just like these common courtesies. It's like, oh, this is what I want people, how I want other contractors treating me, so this is how I'm going to treat my clients.
Yeah.
um, Goes a long way. That's like one of the biggest praises that I get as a contractor. They're like, you showed up on time, you told us what you were going to do, you did it on time, and like you communicated the whole way through. Because
Hmm.
there's a lot of like, there's a lot of, and I don't know if this is really true for like your industry in particular, but like there's this aspect of like, okay, I'm gonna like bid this job at like a super low price, knowing that like this customer doesn't know what the heck they're talking about. And then when I get there, I'm going to say, oh, you actually need this too. And you also need this. And you also need this. And
Hmm.
it's just this like, I don't like doing business that way.
Yeah.
I like to like look at the whole job as a whole, tell them up front, this is what you're going to need. And here's my estimate. It's super detailed with like everything that I'm going to do, everything that I'm going to provide, what I'm not going to do, so they don't think, "Hey, I thought you were going to do that." It's like, no, it's detailed, and I walk them through. And just like that ability is what's lacking in the industry, I think,
That's good.
especially that communication.
Hmm. And I think it's
So
so important. I mean, on a client scale, I mean, it makes the difference when you can trust the person that's working for you, because you can get in and you know exactly what you're going to get, and there's no
yeah,
question. As soon as there's a hint of like some upcharge or some like sly thing that's
yeah,
going on, the trust kind of breaks, I feel like. And I can see that even in our industry. Like if you just own up to what you're doing and say, hey, I did this, or I'm going to get this done today, and you follow through on that, it makes the difference as a worker. And you see those guys stick around so much longer than the
yeah,
guys who are just cutting corners or who are just getting by on the day to day and just kind of
yeah,
mailing it in, clocking in and clocking out.
yep,
So yeah, that's really cool to hear that, especially coming from a company owner, a business owner. And I'm sure I mean, I've seen it in your reviews, and where people are just super satisfied with what you do. Now moving on to your advice to your younger self. What if you could go back and just tell young Edward one thing? What would that thing be, man?
Oh man, I'd say it's not, you're never too young. Actually, you are too young, but like just get into the trades as soon as you can. Like
Yeah.
don't waste your time with anything else. Like you were born to work with your hands.
Hmm.
Mommy and daddy knew you were never going to be book smart. So, you know, just get into the trades. Just find
Yeah.
something that's going to appeal to you and stick to it. Like, and I think, and like, when we were in high school, I mean, like,
Hmm.
when they did like the, what was it, career fairs or whatever, there was
Hmm.
like three options. There was like
Yeah.
military, cop, or like go to a 4-year college.
Yeah.
Those were your options.
Yeah.
There was nobody there being like, do you want to do electrical work? Do you want to build houses? Do you want to do
Yeah.
plumbing? You want, like, if they were there, I probably would have been like, oh shit, yeah, that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
But they just weren't there.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, but I think nowadays, especially like in high schools, they're really promoting the trades a lot more.
Yeah.
Because school is not for everybody. Like
Yeah.
like a 4-year education, a degree, like the world is so diverse.
Hmm.
Like we can't all be at desk jobs. We can't
Yeah.
all be in the trades. We can't all be nurses or whatever. Like everybody needs to find their own thing, and presenting those options at a
Hmm.
young age, like a high school age, is like crucial for the actual like um success of these like high school graduates. So I don't know.
Yeah.
That's what I
Yeah.
would told myself.
That's awesome. Kind of tagging on that, I feel like when we were in high school, the trades, like we had auto shop and wood shop, but they were always like, you know, like the idiots. And I feel like the trades have had that kind of maybe reputation of being just kind of like, numbskull type,
Yeah.
couldn't make it in on the book. So, that's kind
Yeah.
of last resort. But I've met like so many dudes out there that are like crazy, crazy smart, doing math, like even in my field, doing like um I don't even know what kind of math it is. I don't know. It's just like super I'm not that smart, but like they're doing crazy stuff, like crazy equations
It's kind of
that
some kind of ometry.
yeah, some ometry and some bras and stuff like that. Algebras. But it's cool, man. It's so awesome to be able to see that. And I wish, like you said, like having that representation at a younger age or some type of exposure to it would have been so beneficial. And I'm always like really proud when I see young apprentices come in that are like 18, 19, and they're like getting their hands dirty and learning the equipment, learning the trade. And it's such a cool thing to see that because, back then it was like college, college, college. You need to go to school, at least something to fall back on. If something else doesn't work, you have a degree. And it's like, no, like
Yeah.
I remember telling myself, I don't know if you've ever did this, but I remember telling myself, I was like sitting in a college class doing some stupid thing. And I remember saying, Clay, you're gonna watch. You're gonna realize you never needed any of this stuff. And I got into the trades and I realized like, hey, I was right, man. I knew myself. I should have did it later.
Yeah. I know.
But
I had the experience when I was in community college because you have to take those like BS classes.
yeah,
It's like it's not even
I
what I'm here for.
yeah
And that's another promotion for the apprenticeship program is you're
yeah
only learning what you need to learn. You're not
yeah
learning English and stuff that you don't need to know, like all these other subjects. And yeah, I remember I was in what was it, astronomy or something,
yeah.
and I was just like, this doesn't make any sense. I was like, I don't get it. How do we know something's this many light years away? Wouldn't it take us light years to find out? Like, and I left. I was like, this doesn't make any sense. I'm out of here.
Yeah, yeah,
And I was just like, it's not for me. It's not
yeah.
for me. I'm not
That's
smart enough.
that's awesome. All right, we're gonna do some quick rapid fire questions, and then we'll just get your final thoughts and wrap it up.
Oh
Okay,
man.
what's your favorite piece of, or what's your favorite tool? What's your go to?
Ooh. Oh, my go-to or my favorite tool? Two separate questions.
Two separate.
Yeah.
Okay, what's your favorite tool? How about that? We'll do that one.
My favorite tool is my cordless Milwaukee threader.
Threader.
That thing is badass.
Yeah.
Yeah, to thread rigid conduit for like main panel upgrades and things like that. It's
Yeah.
freaking awesome.
That's awesome.
My go-to, oh man, probably my Kinepix diagonal cutters. Those things are great. Like
Never before, but that sounds cool.
like pliers. I mean, every electrician's tool is a hammer as well. You know, my tape measure is a hammer, but these are great. I mean, they'll cut wire. I could pound in an anchor with them. I could pull out a staple with them. They're always in my back pocket.
That's sick. All right, what's your hype song? What do you listen to? What are you jamming on when you're driving to work, or maybe you've had a long day,
dude?
Slump down in your car, and you're like, okay, song on.
It takes a lot for me to honestly to like blast some music in the car. I either need to be like on one that day or just like super depressed. But I like don't listen to music when I drive. Like
Yeah.
I like to hear the surroundings. And I was
Hmm.
driving one time with an apprentice, and they were just like, we were driving like all the way out to Tracy or something like that. It was like a long drive. And she was like, "So you just don't listen to music?" Or she was like, "Dude, this kind of sucks." But anyways, for when I do get hyped up, oh my God, you can't go wrong with Creed.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Creed. Oh yeah.
Oh,
That'll get me going. And depending on what mood I'm in, maybe some like super heavy, like screamo type music that I used to listen to in high school, just bring back some memories, you know.
oh yeah.
But Creed, you can't go wrong with Creed.
Can't read. Love it. Okay. Are you a coffee guy or are you energy drink guy?
Coffee, 100%.
Oh yeah,
I
dude.
I never really got into energy drinks, dude. I think
Hmm.
I was drinking them for a while, and then I started getting like panic attacks and heart palpitations, and I was like, I gotta no, this is not good for me, dude. And so I'm coffee. I mean, I drink a lot of coffee throughout
Dude,
the
I
day.
I wish some of these job sites, like if we just had like a coffee pot or something, like I need to get one of those like, hand aero presses or something like that to bring with me.
I
Like,
know.
12 o'clock. Cause I'm like,
You
dude,
just gotta bring your camp stove.
yeah, for real. For real.
Yeah. Oh, that's actually not a bad idea, dude. Actually, I might put one in my van.
Dude,
Just a little
Mexico
single burner.
does all the time, bro. They're like cooking up fajitas and stuff on the tailgate. It's awesome. I got to
I'm over
learn
here
from
eating
them.
my sandwich. Like, those warm tortillas look nice, dude.
I know. All right. Final thoughts. What do you want every listener to remember about a life in the construction industry? That's kind of an interesting question, but what do you think?
Ooh, that it could be a fulfilling life.
Hmm.
It could be you could provide for your family if you are the provider for your family. You could have a great career. You can meet
Mhm.
a lot of people. You could learn a lot, and you're going to be needed.
Yeah.
People are going to call you asking, like, you're going to be needed for a long time, um, with anything. So I think it's just overall great career, great opportunity to be in the trades.
Awesome. Well, that's a good
That's
way
what
to
I
end
think.
it. Yeah, that's awesome, man. Good way to end it. Edward, I just want to thank you for being on the Iron and Dust podcast. Now, if people want to get in contact with you, they want to use you as a business. Where do they go? Where can they find you? Are you on social media?
Great question.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm on Instagram.
Hmm.
Skyline Electric LLC is my handle there. Uh, they could email me info@skylineelectricusa.com, or best is visit my website because it just got revamped and it's super sweet
Mm.
at skylineelectricusa.com.
Awesome. That's cool. Well, Edward, thanks again for taking the time to be a part of this story, sharing your story. And I think there's going to be a lot of people that are going to resonate with what you said today. And I think I'm excited for it. I'm excited for people to hear your story, man. So,
Thanks for having me, Clay. It was nice to see you, man.
Good to see you too. It's been too long.
I gotta make it out there.
Dude, I gotta make it back there. All right, dude.
All right.
Take it easy.
See you
Later.